Hey everybody, Jay and Brian here. We do these things called 10 to Profitability. We've done a couple of them already you've seen here on the site with the disc, and we walked through the profiles. But say hey Brian.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
How much, man? We put these things out here because we want to help you guys understand how to make a more profitable consulting practice. That's what our main focus is. There's a lot of other videos in here where we'll go into a lot of different other aspects, but we do them for 10 minutes because if you've got more than 10 minutes to sit around learning about stuff and you're trying to make a profitable practice, that would be your first problem. And,
Yeah, that's your biggest problem right there. If you get more than 10 minutes just to sit there and watch a video.
and knowledge is great, but yeah, you got to get out and do stuff with it. So one of the things that we talk about, and this one we're going to talk about, the key, I think one of the biggest keys to increasing the profitability in your consulting practice is to figure out how to stop trading your time for their money. It's counterintuitive. It seems wrong. It seems weird. I mean, it makes sense, but then you think, well, wait, I'm a consultant. They're supposed to pay me to come in and do stuff. Or I'm a coach. So, I get paid to deliver like a performer. And if I'm not delivering, then why would they pay me? But that's the biggest problem we've seen. So it's like coaches, unless you're doing team coaching, if you're doing actual one-on-one coaching, it's a huge time suck. And if you have 30, Brian, have you ever seen anyone that ran 40 full-time clients? I mean, that's a busy week.
That's you have a job at that point. I mean, there's some folks that's their passion, that's their genius, that's what they love to do. And then what we typically hear is that's what people feel like they have to do, right? So to your point, you're spot on, Jay.
And it's great. I mean, I like it. I don't do much anymore, but I mean, I enjoy that aspect and I get it. But I'm simply giving you a practical understanding of why that is limiting. And most of the time we see consultants when they come in and join us, they didn't stop to think about that. They just got stuck in this is how I make my living. This is what I do. So
well, yeah, or it's their paradigm. They learned from somebody who told them this is your reality. You're just like an accountant. You're just like a doc. You're just like a lawyer. You bill by the hour. And if you deem yourself in terms of that, then that's the type of practice you're going to create. So it's not your fault. Don't worry. But we're going to give you a couple of ideas to help you maybe change that into being a little more abundant.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, if that's what you want to do. If you're coming to us saying, I'm completely satisfied, I love what I do, I make tons of money doing it, or I make all the money I want to make doing it. It doesn't matter how much you make, it's how much you want to make. And if you're making that, great, no problem. We're probably not going to be able to help you a whole lot.
And profitability can be a lot of things. Profitability can be, you know what, my values based on what I can do with my family and my life. I mean, there's that work-life balance thing. So it's not all about the money, but it is about how to get into that frame of mind to where you're not exchanging money for time. You're actually creating time because you've taken money off the table. And it's about creating a practice that allows you to truly do more than what they're expecting, but also generate, at the end of the day, generate the profits that allow you to be in control of your destiny.
Yeah, the two things that we see in the polls of the consultants that come in, and even those that aren't members of INNERMETRIX, the two top things they say are their concerns that keep them up 2 o'clock at night are getting more clients and making more money. Now, the satisfaction and the success, Brian, spot on, completely agree. Your definition of success is your definition of success. And so that's a variable, and it's important why I stopped myself a minute back and said, it's not about making tons of money. It's about making the right amount of money. It's how much you want to make. You make a good point. Some people say, you know what, I can make $100,000 doing this. This is like my retirement gig. I spent 30 years in management. I just want to coach some on the side. I can pull in 100,000. I'm great. Also, some people are making 25 or 30 or 40, and they're struggling because they're like, I want this to actually support my family, and it's not. I'd say the average consultant in ours is easily in our group is making over 100,000, well on average. The time is the big thing. You have a limited amount of it. You can't make any more of it. So it's like real estate, they're not making any more of it. And that's been the problem that we see. So when you trade your time for their money, if you're not there giving them your time, you're not getting paid. And it creates a limiting factor. It creates where you can't do more in the day. And if you're doing coaching, not anything against coaching, that's great. But if the only model that you have is to coach like a physician, you either better charge a couple $1,000s a month if you want to increase your money. You can only charge more or stack more people into the day. And we've all been to the physician where it's an hour or 2 hour wait, and they've got all the other staff that are helping get you set up and doing all the medicine and blood work and all the things. So the physician can run in, everything's prepped, everybody else has supported them. They come in, they spend 5 minutes, they go, okay, hey, cool, cool. Because I need to get another 78, 90 patients in today so I can increase my money. And it doesn't work in consulting. It's not a good way to do it. So one of the things that we teach is the DTS model: do it, teach it, support it. And there's other videos where we talk much more in depth about it. But this one's important because before you can take advantage of the DTS model, which we'll touch on here in a second, you have to let go of that paradigm that Brian talked about. You got to realize, wait, I came in like a lawyer. You're absolutely spot on. That's where a lot of people think, I'm going to charge X many dollars an hour. But if you're not making the money that you want, that's probably one of the big limiting factors. Now,
Well, I think too, a lot of times we'll talk about how to value your time, which is incredibly important. One of the things up front with the DTS model, one of the things we help people understand up front is sometimes you're going to give a little bit more up front in terms of serving them to determine if this relationship is one where it's going to be mutually beneficial, incredible level of value brought, but also bigger than that, incredible amount of value perceived. And so what we do, and we take our new consultants through certification, when we talk to them in our monthly calls, we're continuously helping them understand the more effective job you do of courting a client will determine truly if you can help them frame and think of you in terms of, you know what, this is an insurance policy that I pay every month. This is the utility bill I pay, because I can't imagine us ever working with human capital in our organization, whether it's talent acquisition, emerging leader, without having, Jennifer on board as our talent acquisition, consultant. And so I think that's the big thing, is getting out of this idea that I'm going to meet with you for 20 and then I'm going to sell you something. It's that I'm going to serve you, do something small, but I'm going to frame you up to understand that I'm a reoccurring monthly investment that's going to be a part of your organization moving forward. And then they go, well, how many hours a month do I get? And here's what I get. You got to get strong and say, if it ever comes down to you wondering how much time I spend with you, then it's time to fire me. Because what we do together isn't about time, it's about results. And there's some months I may spend more hours than what you can quantify on your organization. In other months, you may not see me as much, but the key is do we develop this relationship of trust where we're continually doing the work, training your internal people on how to do it, and then supporting them to help them have the epiphanies of how to make your organization more self-aware, more authentic, more valuable. I mean, that's the powerful thing.
That's the DTS. Do it, teach it, support it. And we got 2 minutes left because we want you to go sell some shit. But in the minute 43 that we have left, that's DTS. That's what that's the beauty of what he just explained. You go from thinking like an attorney or a physician to start thinking like a university. All right. You want to go in and do the coaching, go in and do the leadership development, go in and do the conflict resolution, go in and do the team building, go in and do whatever talent development work is to be done. You do it the first time. Then instead of saying, now when you need me again, call me and I'll come back and I'll do it again and I'll do it again and I'll do it again, because that's stuck in that trap of, unless I'm trading you with my time, I don't get your money. Instead, you train the individuals. You teach them how to fish. You don't say, every time you need fish, come let me know. You teach them how to do the team building. You teach them how to do the coaching. You see what I'm saying? You get them involved and you're passing the knowledge on. And this is where most coaches go, what? Most consultants go, what the hell are you talking about? You're sharing your knowledge and trying to build internal champions inside the organization who then you can support.
Because they have the platform that every one of our CICs have that you're going to be able to generate revenue with. And that's the key differentiator, right? It's not the exchange.
And I'm teaching them to use profiles. I'm teaching them to use the assessments that we get from INNERMETRIX. I'm teaching them to understand those and be the expert. And here's what they pay on a monthly fee to get those. And they're paying you every month, but you're there for support like a retainer. So the retainer also covers all the profiles they can be using. Okay? So there's the key. You go in, you create customers, you show them how it works. They get amazed. You say, you can keep leasing it from me. Oh, all right. What do we say?
Hey, go sell some shit. Click on the bottom. Give us a call every day. We're helping new consultants figure out how to go from, maybe whether they're running and they're killing it already and they want to take it to the next level, or folks that are in that struggle piece. Click on it. Give us a call. We'll talk to you. That's what we do every day.
Discovery session. That's where we'll talk and figure out what's going on. All right. Thanks, Brian.
Hey, thanks, Jay. Have a great day.
See you guys later.